We're at the CEO Experience, and we had the opportunity to talk with Collin, Hecht, and Wolff about their experiences, getting ready for the experience. Collin, I know this is something you worked on literally for months. What do you hope people will experience at the experience?
We really want people to experience what it's like to be a CEO student and get a lot of the same messages that we've gotten before, because we've heard all of these speakers before, and we just love what they teach and what they tell us, and we want everyone to get the same experiences that we've had.
This is different than a typical class session, Eric, and if you had to compare the two, how would you compare this event as to what you experience day to day?
It's very similar. We get to hear from a lot of the people that we're hearing from today, as Collin said, and really the only difference is the questions you won't be able to ask, but everything else is pretty much the same. We have a really great lineup of speakers, whether it be keynote or breakouts. I think it'll be really fun. I hope everyone gets to learn a lot from it today.
This is for either of you guys. What has gone on in getting this together? And what have you learned about yourselves in the planning and the preparation?
Well, there's been a whole lot that's gone into it. We organized committees for each area. We have venue, we have social or marketing,
sponsorship,
speakers, everything, and so everyone has their own little piece of work to do, and it's everyone working together that we got to where we are. So it taught us a lot about teamwork. I know, because
communication. Taught us about a lot about ourselves, because you really find out that you can do things that seem awful scary.
I bet that's right. Now, you two are both active in sports. You're on teams, and so you understand the competitive nature, but you also understand the team framework. Is that something that has been reinforced by CEO? Something that you say, this really is important that we get along and work together?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially, because with the CEO experience, if you don't work together, it's going to fail. And so you have to work together, and that's kind of how a lot of sports are too.
And if you don't talk to the other members of your committee or team, things just go south in a hurry. And it really makes it important to talk to people, because you make yourself sound pretty stupid if you're asking a bunch of people the same questions.
Speaking as somebody who's sounded pretty stupid from time to time, I can identify with that. I want to ask you, though, back to CEO generally. What do you suppose you've learned about yourself from the CEO, the class, as well as this?
Yeah, that's kind of a hard question. I mean, obviously you learn a lot of things about yourself, like what you're good at and what you actually like to do, because you get to experiment with so many different areas of business and the real world in the class. And I personally learned of what I might want to do in college, so it's really helpful.
Very good. Eric?
I've learned that speaking really isn't as scary as it seems. I spoke in front of people in classes at the high school. I've spoken in front at CEO, and once you do it a couple times, it's really not as bad. That's one of the big things that I've learned.
I would think, too, it's been beneficial, but I shouldn't assume it, so I'll ask you guys. You're from Effingham, Collin, you go to school at Altamont, Eric. So you've had students literally from all over the county that have worked together. How's that been?
We all get along really well.
Yeah.
It's not really like, oh, you're from T-Town, we can't talk to you.
Yeah.
You're from Dietrich, you're the enemy. No, there's none of that. We all get along really well. I was kind of worried about it at the beginning, because I was like, oh, St. Anthony, T-Town, I'm from Altamont, they aren't going to like us. Mm-hmm. And then you get in class and you're all talking to each other, and it's just like, you're the exact same people from the exact same town, doesn't matter.
Yeah, and we make an effort to not identify as each other's schools when we come in. We don't wear an Effingham shirt to class. We all mesh together, and so we keep it as one team instead of 6 separate ones.
There you go. Well, thank you for sharing part of your experience with us. The CEO Experience is getting underway shortly as we're recording this. I'm Greg Sapp.